Uptown's like a ghost town now.
It doesn't take long to spot signs of trouble in Uptown.
There's no businesses open as much around here. A lot of places have closed down. A lot more homeless people on the street.
Once bustling blocks of entertainment and retail, a far cry from the quiet today.
You kind of preferred life a few years ago around here?
Oh, yeah, it's totally different now.
But this isn't a story about what you see, it's what you don't, in the ongoing fight to protect what's left.
In every legitimate society, you need law enforcement to be able. You need a fire department, you need the sheriff, you need the police, you need social services. They all work together as a team to fix the problems. And unfortunately, with everything that's happened in the last couple of years, the city is falling apart.
Nathan Seabrook doesn't hold back when asked for his take. A former police officer, combat veteran, and current security company director, Seabrook and some of his team spoke candidly to Alpha News about what they've had to go through in trying to keep people and property in this area safe.
The mission for Conflict Resolution Group is I wanted to help veterans of both law enforcement and the military and the government sector, once they retired, to come and find a job where they could use their experiences to build a better and stronger security model, which wasn't out there.
The company first formed from the George Floyd riots when looting hit Uptown. A year later, chaos continued when Winston Smith fired at law enforcement and was killed by U.S. Marshals.
I worked overseas for many, many years, and so I saw firsthand how social media was used by different groups to create narratives. When I came back to the United States during the George Floyd riots, I saw a lot of these different groups doing the same thing that the Taliban and that Ansar al-Sharia and that Boko Haram used in order to spread a narrative to go after certain people. And I didn't ever expect to see that here. Me personally, I was doxxed. They gave up my home address. And then, of course, the narrative was creative that we were KKK, we were racist, that we were Proud Boys. And then the narrative changed when they found out that the owner of the company was African American. And then it went to mercenaries and paramilitary. All that is absolutely false. You know, we're not mercenaries. Our clients aren't a foreign government. It was just a very strange time.
Conflict Resolution Group became a frequent target on social media as left-wing activists used character assassination as a scare tactic.
They don't care if they lie. They don't care if they defame you. They just get out there and they put what their narrative is.
That's a really interesting point, something you never thought would happen in your own country.
It's been extremely strange.
Through it all, the team has remained focused on doing things differently.
Use technology to help us also come up with creative solutions and ideas for dealing with problems so that we didn't have to use force.
From playing music to drown out business-disrupting protests to placing doe urine where drug dealers gather.
By putting that odor down, it drove them out of there. They didn't know what the smell was. It was too awful for them to stand there. So they actually moved down, 2 blocks away.
It's definitely a whole different industry almost, it feels like, now than it was.
KP has worked security in Uptown for 13 years.
Before, the crime in Uptown was drunk college kids getting into fights, right? Like, that's what we dealt with all the time. We weren't really dealing with weapons. We weren't really dealing with any of that. We had a great police response at that time. We could call them, they'll show up, everything's great, like they come right away. They actually had cops on every corner in Uptown working the bars. So there was always somebody right there to help you out.
As the number of police officers has fallen, in some cases, private security firms like theirs take their own reports and turn them over to MPD.
You're really left to your own. You just know not to call the police.
When you drive away the people that are paying the bills and paying the taxes, and you're running your cops off one way or the other, it just becomes a lawless, unsafe place, and it's unfortunate. We're supposed to support law enforcement. We're not trying to replace law enforcement. We're not law enforcement. We just held ground until they got there, and now nobody's coming to save you.
There is still concern a third summer of chaos could be ahead, even after so many businesses have closed their doors, as fixes from security experts seem almost foreign now, after all that's been allowed to happen.
My solution is that you refund the police, you hire cops that you lost back, you recruit like crazy, you pay them enough so that they don't have to work anywhere else, second and third and fourth job, and you protect them administratively and properly through leadership to allow them to go back out there and arrest criminals.
Again, conflict resolution is we want to come up with a resolution. We want to fix a problem. And we tell our clients this. We're not looking for a long-term contract. We want to come in, we want to help you to be able to fix a problem so that you don't have to, count on a security company.
Do you see any hope that it's getting better, or?
No, not really. Everything's just staying the same. Everything's getting worse. We need a big change. We need something new.